Third period, 9:15 a.m. I stare down at the boring clock. Tick, 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 click, click, click. I fiddle with my ballpoint pen, waiting for the bell to ring, but then smart-sounding words roll from the teacher's tongue. They fly by me completely. Then click, click, bam! They scramble under the desks, trembling bodies, shaky hands pressed together, body heat, hearts beat, pound. You can't even hear a single sound. It's instantly quiet, the silence hovering over us in one fell sweep. A large, dark shadow creeps. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3, bam! Another gunshot goes. The whistling wind blows the news across the school. The alarm starts to blare. We get it. We're aware, but we all just stare at the door. The boring clock isn't boring anymore. We can feel the frightened hearts slamming against chests from across the hall. We can still hear the ringing in our ears. We can taste the fear. We can smell the panic twisting our guts, burning out our throats, choking on would-be words, biting my tongue. I wish I could run. I could try, but my hands are tied. And every night after that day, every night I remember those who didn't get to see the light again. I wish on every four-leaved clover. I wish to do it all over. I wish to have been the one to go to the bathroom instead of my friend that day. I wish, on fingers crossed, I pray. What do you remember? They ask me. But I don't want to remember. I don't want to go back to that table ever. Don't think I don't know this fable. Don't think I don't know how the story ends, like a fractured, shattered fairy tale breaking as it bends to the open wounds I tried to tend, later to become mental battle scars, ripping, breaking all the frayed seams and pieces of my heart. Years go by. I tried to bury it deep inside, but no dirt or grass or coffin combined could delete those moments. You see, life doesn't have an undo button. And every day after that day, I force a plastic smile and don my paper crown, dressed up in plastic dresses, frolicking around, but eventually, essentially, it all had to come to a close. The curtains draw, I take a bow and take off my plastic clothes. I remove the mask I was made to face the past. I had to face the facts. And the fact was, as hard as it sounds, there is no undo button for the day my world turned upside down. You know, that really gets you thinking. What if? What if that was you? What if that was your kid, your sibling, your best friend? What if? Life has so many what ifs. What if I kissed her? What if I didn't look before crossing the road that day? What if I told him I loved him before he got on that plane? What if I hadn't gone to school that day? What if? After writing several studies on school shootings and 2 books, Peter Langman, a clinical psychologist in Allentown, PA, says that the majority of school shooters did what they did, the roots of their actions being the fact that they didn't even have soil to ground their roots into. Remember when your worst nightmare at school was just getting rejected for prom or failing that math test, not getting shot in 3rd period, or losing your best friend to a bullet? We can make school safer again by first educating ourselves on why they did it. Don't get me wrong, what they did was cruel and inhumane and disgusting, but all they really had left was a mix of depression and paranoia, a bitter potion, a deadly potion. And they didn't have a strong foundation. When all the other kids were out with their friends, going to the mall and waiting for their crush to snap back and having sleepovers, they were like hugging their knees in the tiniest lifeboat that was starting to sink. It's like they were struggling to keep their head above the ocean in the middle of a storm. They were struggling. You can say that it's all in your head now, but when they get their hands on a gun, their conscience crumbled. Their view of the world blackened and distorted and twisted, and the world to them became rotten and ugly. So what if? What if someone had reached out to them during these dark hours? What if someone asked them, "What's wrong? Are you okay? You can talk to me." What if they got help? What if? If you don't confront it now, no doubt it will only worsen, and maybe when they're a full-grown adult and they get their hands on an even deadlier weapon in an even more vulnerable setting, imagine how many families will be broken, how many relationships crushed, how many futures and dreams shattered just like that, all because no one bothered to help. If only. Mental health. A very tricky topic, I'll be frank. Navigating this complex topic is sometimes like walking on thin ice. You have to be very careful. One wrong move and you could easily fall right through. But the risk is necessary to prevent these unspeakable acts of violence from occurring even worse in 2020. According to data from the U.S. Naval Postgraduate School, there were more incidents and more deaths in 2018 due to gun violence in schools than any other year on record. That is unacceptable. But change, it all starts with you. You can be the positive plot twist in someone's story, even if you feel like you're just a background character in another's. It takes a little extra effort and a little more time sometimes, but we all have so much love in our hearts to give, even if we don't recognize it at first. I know this is all such an overused cliche, and you must all think I'm the cheesiest person in the room, which for the record, I probably am, but that really doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, we don't quite differ that much from one another. We're all humans. We're all really just fascinating messes of cells and particles and DNA and hormones, and sure, no two humans ever look or act the exact same, but when all the outside looks fade, what really stays? Plastic surgery and makeup and filters could never truly mask what is in here. And I know that all of you here have so much love, so much potential in here. And even though sometimes the situation seems so corrupt and ruined to the point of no restoration whatsoever, even though sometimes you may think it is absolutely hopeless, I still hope, and I still hope because I believe in people. Because when the situation is dire, it is only ever people who are able to inspire. So you and me, us, we are all people. So even if it's just the tiniest thing in the world, like asking if someone's okay, or giving them a hug, writing them a note, baking them cookies, anything. Even if you feel completely stupid doing it and you think it doesn't matter, it can mean the world to the other person, even if they don't tell you that. And I look at all of the beautiful faces here and I see hope. I see hope and love oozing and overflowing and radiating from inside you like a pop of color in a dull black and white world. You are the light at the end of the tunnel. If your heart tells you to pick up the phone and talk to your parents, if your gut wills you to go speak to your brother you haven't spoken to in weeks, do it. Just do it, because change starts with you. Thank you.